Want to build curves and a body that you could dream of? So with these 5 exercises, these are definitely a game changer. And I'm going to give you tips on how myself and also plenty of my other clients that wanted curves and a thick body. So with my tricks, I hope this will help you develop curves of your own. If you're the type of girl that doesn't have a wide hips or has a short torso or just wants to create a body that they love and looks good in clothing. Welcome back to my channel though. So that is what we're going to go over today. My first tip to you is what I tell people is muscle activation. When I first started my training, I didn't know muscle activation was a thing. I know a lot of people see booty exercises and the booty bands are like, oh, that doesn't work. If you do things properly, exercise properly, you will see the gains that you want to see. For me personally, and I'll make sure to post a picture of my before and after of when I started properly engaging muscle groups to grow a curvier body. So the first thing is muscle activation of the muscle you're trying to grow. If you're trying to, I tell people if you have a short torso, narrow hips, work on your glutes and your legs. Now, you cannot work glutes too much or you will start causing an anterior pelvic tilt. You do not want that because it'll start causing your back to hurt. You wonder why your back hurts. You want to make sure you are working core as well. And core stability is important when you're trying to keep your pelvis in line. So if your pelvis starts getting all funked up, your hamstrings start getting tight, your lower back starts hurting, and so on and so on. Starts causing a lot more issues than what people really actually think. Make sure you're working on your core while you're working on glutes. So the exercises that we don't like. Planks. Oh, well, there's other core exercises. They hit your lower abdomen very well, and they hit your inner core really well, which is very important for pelvic stabilization, which keeps your back from hurting, okay? And also keeps you from having your interior belt, so you're not walking around like a freaking duck, okay? So grow glutes and make sure your hips stay in alignment, okay? So that's your first one, muscle activation. I suggest if you want to grow upper glutes, fire hydrant holds, lateral walks, monster walks if you're not done properly. I explain a lot of these on my programs that I've made for that, for corrective fitness. My fitness guide has more in depth in this stuff. I'm going to tell you just the basics because that's all we need to know, okay? Muscle growth, those are going to help you warm up and activate your glute medius. Your glute medius is most of the time weak because if you sit all day, it'll start becoming underactive because your hip flexors start to become overactive in your TFL. Then it starts causing knee issues and the whole 9 yards, okay? Glute medius activation before you work out, okay? When you are doing glute medius exercises, you need to make sure you're holding and controlling the weight. I know you just want to throw the weight around. Don't. I'm saving you from this now, okay? So I'm going to make sure to post a picture on and show you my client. And this is my client. She came to me. She wanted curves. She didn't care about really like losing weight. So we did a recomp. Those are most of my clients. I love recomping. Now you're probably wanting to know what recomping is. Recomping is basically turning your fat. You're getting rid of fat loss, but also gaining muscle at the same time. So your weight really doesn't change. So personally for me, that's what I did. Some people's bodies lose weight and then gain weight. Most 90% of people recomp and they're like, why don't I see goals? Why are my scales not going down? Why is the scale not going down? Your scale's not going down, but you're getting small. It's because you're recomping. You're not in a lower enough deficiency to lose fat like that faster than what you're gaining weight. I talk more about that in my fitness guide in my book, okay? Check it out. I'm not going to depth with that. That's important. She wanted that, so I made sure to activate her glute medius and stuff. We worked on her core because she was a mom. She couldn't do a plank for a very long time. She literally could not hold a 15-second plank. I got her holding a plank for 2 minutes with no pain, no nothing, okay? It's important. So with that, we glue glute medius. We controlled the weight as well when we work out. That's the second tip. Second tip is controlling the weight when you work out. Yes, lifting heavy is great, but if you cannot hold and pause, work your way down. Tempo is going to be your friend when you're trying to gain weight, when you're trying to fix muscle groups, when you're trying to fix imbalances, and when you're trying to just feel better in general with your body and less achy. Tempo is your friend. You want to make sure to be able to control that heavy weight. And I know and I understand that is frustrating because people are like, I want to lift heavy. I want to lift heavy. bam. No. I'm just telling y'all, I love y'all, but no. Stop listening to these people that, a lot of these girls, you see these girls with big booties, a lot of the time it's because their glutes are already overactive compared to their quads and hamstrings. So that means when they squat or do anything else like that, the only thing that gets the growth is their glutes and genetics. A lot of it is genetics as well. So activation is key. When you are quad or hamstring heavy, do not be working hamstrings and quads all the time. You'll start getting unbalanced. Glutes are important, but make sure to activate your glutes. Take your time, control, and really feel your glutes to activate them so you can grow glute muscles and give that more illusion of curve, especially if you don't have them. And you can tell from my client that I gave her that. She went from being very boxy to having glutes and to having more of a curve because I trained her like that. The third tip, recovery is important. I know you hear about recovery all the time. Bubba? She got me distracted, but it's fine. We want to make sure you're recovering. You want to make sure you're eating enough. You want to make sure you're sleeping enough. And yes, sleep is important. Yes, your social media is killing your sleep. If you don't believe me, let me say this. Set your social media to an hour and a half. Every single one. Don't get on it for the rest of the day if you pass the hour. Rest, eating, water, yes, okay? Fourth, compound movements before you do accessory work. I talk more about that in my fitness guide and go over what you need to be doing first for certain ways. When you're going for strength, when you're going for growth, compound. What are compound movements, Miriam? Compound movements are you using more than one muscle group to lift weights. Okay? All right. That's the explanation I'm going to give you. Don't need to go any more detailed than that. And number 5, it will take you time to build glutes. Okay? So, bulking, cut. Bulk, cut. That is number 5. You need to make sure you're bulking and cutting. And recomping is important, but that's like your middleman. Okay? Bulking is where you gain the muscle mass. Then you cut, okay? And then you go to recomp, and that's more of like maintenance mode, okay? You're still kind of building, but you're not trying to gain a lot of fat or lose a lot of fat. If you want glutes like mine or to grow glutes like my client or any other, you have to bulk, which means you have to eat an excessive amount of calories and lift heavy with control for a decent amount of time. I bulked 5 times before I really got my goal where I wanted to be, okay? So bulking means eating the calories over your calories that you burn, okay? That's one. And the second is making sure you're lifting in between like 8 to 10 reps, 6 to 8, 10 reps, whatever. I explain more in my fitness guide. I'm not going to go over that. I want to make sure you guys know that it's going to take time. When you cut, you do that in the summer. Bulking is for the winter. So remember that. So I want to make sure, and I hope these tips, that was pretty much it. I really hope these tips helped with creating more curves and everything else. Give me a follow, subscribe, and like. Subscribe and like for more tips, more Fashion Fridays, more just fashion in general. I want to make sure that I'm making this channel into a wellness fashion center, okay? For my short torso, narrow hip girls that want to build curves, look good, so on in their outfits, okay? So yeah, I hope you guys have a good day, and yeah, bye.